here we are together on the same screen. Welcome back to What's in Your Leadership Backpack. Conrad here with Shannon. We're actually in downtown Durham today, Durham, North Carolina. So feeling the Bull City vibe today.
Yeah, we really are. And we're here to talk about a really fun topic. We're here to talk about drama. We've been hearing a lot of this coming from clients in different ways that they're experiencing drama. And not just in their work relationships, but also in their professional, like their personal relationships.
Yeah, their whole self, those relationships with their significant other, perhaps, or brother and sister, as well as the teams and folks they interact with at work, or what they do in the world. So drama, not the kind you see on the screen, the kind you may be living right now.
What do we mean by drama?
Yes.
What do we mean when we're talking about drama? What is it?
So I think it's from the Conscious Leadership Group, has a pretty solid definition that we also assert is right on point. And the two main things are agreements that are unclear
And unkept.
and unkept. So that's one, unkept or unclear agreements. And number two, what was it? Misalignment?
Unalignment.
Unalignment.
Lack of alignment around a shared purpose. So those two things, lack of alignment around shared purpose and not having clear agreements or not keeping them. That's it, those two things. So take a second, think about your current relationships, think about some relationships that may be challenging right now. And if they feel like there's drama, are one or more of those things happening right now? Might want to get curious about that.
Do get curious, and when we say agreements, we want to just like give an example. Agreements can be as simple as a time you're going to meet with that person, showing up at the same time. That can be an agreement that you've set, or it can be around a design for a project, or an agreement that you have with your significant other around perhaps interacting at your kid's soccer game, something like that. So this is, we don't want this to be ambiguous, but agreements are really what two people or a group of people come together and say, this shall be for the sake of us. So that's agreements. Now
we want to talk about what to do when there is drama, right? So when there's unalignment, there's no agreement,
it's drama.
what can you do?
Yeah. What do you do? First, make time. Make time for the relationship. That's initial, the foundation. Like, what do we want to agree to? Maybe at the beginning of a relationship, and maybe when a new hire comes on. What do we want to agree to today?
Yeah.
Make time for that.
Make time. And if you're stuck, not knowing exactly what to do first to make shifts in the relationship, make this your first priority, right? Oftentimes we want to move straight into fixing the thing that we're trying to fix or get done or make happen. And what we really want to encourage you to do is to actually make this the first priority, that you take the time to have a conversation and get back into relationship with your people.
So time, start at the beginning. And also one of the agreements, how often are we going to check in on our relationship? Make that intentional, make that happen. Number two, shared purpose. We talked about misalignment. When there's no shared purpose, common cause in the relationship, or is squishy or unclear, that can cause some drama. Like, hey, Shannon, want to take a trip with you?
Yeah.
I'm headed to Milwaukee, and I'll see you there. How did that go as far as the alignment, the shared purpose? Did I even see if Shannon wants to go to Milwaukee, or like what routes are we taking? So just a kind of a silly example, but an example of like how assumptions can come in and get misaligned on purpose.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest downfalls of making assumptions, right? Conrad might think that, of course, I want to go to Milwaukee. I'm from Milwaukee. I have family and friends in Milwaukee. That's a pretty big assumption that I would want to go to Milwaukee. So make sure that you're checking assumptions, right? We talked too earlier a little bit about, everybody shows up and they just assume, oh yeah, we all work for the dry marker company. Of course, our shared purpose is to make dry erase markers. That might not be enough, right? There might actually be something under that needs to be discussed. And I have to say one thing.
Please.
One thing that I'm finding with my teams, I don't know, and I'm sure that you are too, Conrad, is that there's this emerging shared purpose around being a part of a healthy team, being a part of a healthy organization. And not everyone has that same interest.
Yep.
So
That's good. So find out, be curious what that interest is. That's more than what you do about creating dry erase markers. What is it that your team really needs? What do your people need when it comes to that? Next, and we're rolling here. So there's 4 of these. We're on number 2. We got time and shared purpose. And then number 3.
Agreements. So agreements, commitments, what you said you were going to do, what we know needs to happen, having that be very specific, written down, and available for everyone to see, especially in a team dynamic.
Yep. And then lastly, it's like, how do we want to be accountable to each other? This is another piece that mitigates, reduces, and can eliminate drama, is how do we want to be accountable to what we've agreed to, what we've aligned on. And that's a piece that we're going to unpack later, because that's one that I have seen, and Shannon, likely you have too, in a lot of places. And sometimes it's tough to be accountable or hold accountability depending on which side of that equation you're on. So more to say about that in the future. For now.
Well, and the big thing, I do just have to say, the big thing about accountability is that when people are keeping their agreements, accountability is easy breezy. It's when people are not keeping their agreements that accountability is really challenging. So we're going to talk about that next time. And in the meantime, what we want you to do is
we want you to know that drama is part of the human condition.
Yeah.
And it happens in relationships. And we also want you to be curious about what are the things that you are choosing to do or not do that is related to that. So take a peek at these 4 areas. Am I dedicating time? Do we have a shared purpose? Do we have agreements? If we have agreements, are they squishy, known, assumed? Place to look. And then accountability. So we want that for you, whoever is listening to this. We have drama. We're not like drama free collectively and in our world. And we know that it's important because you're up to some cool things out there, and drama just kind of takes longer, takes it away. So
thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Take care.